Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I'm going to be replacing the cabin air filter on my 2024 Chevy Equinox EV. Let's get into it. That's right, everybody. I'm going to be replacing my cabin air filter for my 2024 Chevy Equinox EV. I got in it really the last couple days and kind of smelled a little bad, so I think it's time to do it. And then I remember, I was at a dealer and they asked you, and I just said, sure, whatever. I wasn't paying attention, but they charged me $91. And so here's my invoice, and there it is, right here. Cabin air filter. $91.20. And so I was like, it's got to be cheaper if I do it myself. I just helped my brother change his cabin air filter in his Tesla Model 3, so I'm like, I could probably do this. So I went to AutoZone, I think is what it was called. I bought this STP. I don't have a brand allegiance. If you want to drop your brand allegiance down below and tell me what a terrible choice I made, I'm cool with that. I really don't care. This is not the OEM. The OEM is the I can't think of the name, but it's like blue. But regardless, not OEM, but this is a step above a basic filter. It has the particulate filter, 2 different stages of charcoal, and then some baking soda, and then antibacterial technology, allegedly. I don't know, as long as it cleans my air in my cabin, I'm good with that. This was $28 after tax, so a little bit cheaper than what the dealer was charging, and then I don't have to pay labor on top of that. You can get a cheaper version, probably for like 15 to 20 bucks. If you look on the actual Chevy website for OEM, you're looking for the base around $20, $25, and then you can go all the way up into like the $40 and $50 with the OEM products. So do that if you want, or save yourself a little money. This is going to save me almost 75 bucks. So let's go ahead, get this thing going. I have vaguely looked at the instructions on how to do this, so I will do my best to communicate to you all. So, and it's also cold, so I'm going to want to do this quick, so let's get to it. All right, so before we get started, we're going to assess the scene. Basically, you want to empty out your glove box, that's the name. And then there are these little struts here that have little pins. You just push those together, they pop out, and then you kind of pull this. So let me get the camera to just, you pull this in on both sides, and this drawer is going to drop down completely. And then back here, we can't see it yet, but is where the filter is. I read that you need to unscrew, but I think on newer versions of Equinox, you don't need to unscrew. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do the best with my camera work so you all can see what I'm doing as I go along. But if not, I will try and show you all after the fact. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and get these little pins off. Set this here, and let's see, just pinch, pull the strut, popped right out. Show you all that, popped right out. Here is the strut, and then there should be one on the other side. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you all this one. All right, everybody, so just kidding, it's just one strut, so that's super easy. Then you're gonna take the sides here, you're gonna push them in. I would say lift the drawer up a little bit. You push the back side in, and it drops down like that. Hopefully that made sense. So right here, if you all can see that, you can. You just push the sides in, and then you pull down, and now we have access to this area. And right back in here, oh, there's an SD card. Look at that. Huh. Okay, well, I might play around with that one day, see what happens. But anyways, back here behind this is the area we need to get to. And I can see it there. There we go. So right there it is. Right here. And we just need to pop this off. It doesn't, I don't see any screws, so I think it might just pop off. So let me go ahead, figure that out, and then I'll catch up with y'all in a bit. All right, everybody, I am back. This is actually really easy, no screws needed. Just trying to get this in here for you all. I think that's the best angle I'm gonna get. But basically over here, there's like a tab and you pinch it together. See if I can zoom in for you all. Yeah, right there. And you pinch it together. Oh, the camera's going wild. There it is. And it really just opens up, and there's a hinge on the left side. So let me see if I can get this for you all. So there it is. Just pinch it together. Let me use my left hand. There we go. And I just did this. There we go, pops off. And then the door, there's a hinge, but it'll come completely off. So again, so y'all can see, this is what I was saying. You pinch this bad boy, you pull it out, and then you're good to go. This is the hinge you insert on the other side. That was easy enough. And then we got the cabin air filter. Gross. Oh, I got some leaves in there. Really gross. All right, so there it is. Airflow goes down, if you're wondering. Okay, and you can see this thing is gross. Yikes. So let's go ahead and get the new, and the company I couldn't remember earlier, AC Delco, that's the name of the company. That's the OEM. So now I've got this brand new filter, airflow down, unwrap it. For those of you who like hearing the unwrapping sound, there it is. Here, let me, anyways, there's that. Please be the right size. I did check in the book and, yep, correct size, perfect. And all we do is just slide this back in. And I can probably bring you all in for this. So there we go. Okay. Maybe I'm not gonna be able to bring you all in for this because I can't get a very good angle to look. All right, everybody, so I struggled a little bit to get it in. I ended up having to pull like the back side in a little bit and then was able to get it in. So there it is, airflow down, push it back in, take this, hooks over here, and oh, should have snapped back into place. Snap back into place. There we go. That was so easy. Wow. I would definitely recommend doing this. So now what I'm gonna do is undo everything I did, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, so just push these back up, push the sides in a little bit, snaps into place, then take that strut. Strut has gone back in a little bit. Okay, there we go. We got it. All right, the strut had kind of like receded a little bit, but then we just take this bad boy and then we're gonna put it right here. So there it is, lined up almost. Push, click, it's in, and there you go. Cabin air filter installed. Super easy. All right, everybody, so cabin air filter is installed. And it's very clear that this one I got, at least at appearance, appears to be higher quality, which is nice. This one feels much lower quality, lots of dirt, so at least it was doing its job to keep stuff out. Pretty gross. All right, so yeah, that was super easy. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Tried to get, so you could see everything you had to do if you wanted to do it on your own. I would highly recommend it. I found that to be very, very easy to do. Obviously when I'm cameraing, everything's a little bit harder, but when I put the camera down and just did it, it was super easy. Again, when you put the filter in, you kind of got to push one side in a little bit so it'll get past, and then you push it back in. That worked nicely. Super easy. Save yourself some money, put in your own cabin air filter, and make your car smell nice and clean. No weird odors like I was getting, and hopefully that goes away. Anyways, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to give a like, a subscribe, hit that hype button down below, swipe, hit hype, and I will catch you all next time.